The name of all the real niggas.
I want you to speak up clear and loud.
Respectfully, the most honorable YB double M. Lotto.
Brown baby.
Gunshots in the dark at me. Discrimination cause my head nappy. Call me a thug cause I'm tatted up. Now your actions justify when them slugs clap me. I think it's a war on the black race. Why every criminal they show got a black face, and every hero they show gotta be pale? Is it me or y'all got the wrong niggas for crimes against humanity? Of course we out here acting up. They slaughtered our elders and told the babies they from Africa. We screaming Black Lives Matter, they do. Well nigga, Black Lives Matter to who? Cause they don't matter to you. You know the owner of that movement, a Jew, and Nick Cannon got canceled just for speaking the truth. True, y'all think money bring power, it don't. Unity bring power, then we take what they owe. Y'all think money bring power, it don't. Unity bring power, then we take what they owe.
Where's the white guy who thinks he's a Native American? Listen, you dummy, you're a Siberian squatter who crossed the land bridge when the frost was low. The real Native Americans are black people. You're a $5 in and you paid $5 to steal a name. You're a fake, you hockey puck. They got black Americans wearing dashikis now. You look like a Chinese export. Those things are made in Wuhan. You're not from Africa. You've never even been there. You're indigenous to America. Your grandmothers were Moorish empresses.
My friend tried to prove me wrong about the Moors. He said, Red, we came from Africa on a boat. I said, brother, you only believe that because a white man with a clip-on tie told you so.
You know, John Hanson was a Moor, a so-called black man running the show before George Washington. We had 7 black presidents before the white guy took the credit. But keep teaching your kids about the cherry tree and decoy.
You actually think George Washington looked like a pale piece of driftwood? Washington was a Moor, you moron.
Yes, Lord. Welcome to Deacon News Network, where we got the best work. I'm your host, Fetty Lotto, here to put a stain on your brain and bring you some news you can use. Listen, man, we about to get into who are the indigenous people of this land, man. You know what I'm saying? It's the black man indigenous to this land, man. What y'all think? What do you identify yourself as, man? If you a black man, you know, some people think they African American, some people think they natives to this land. So jump in the comment section, man. Let me know what you identify yourself as. And you know, we're gonna go from there. Now, I mean, I identify myself as an Aboriginal American black man, and that's what it is, you know what I'm saying? I don't know nobody from Africa, and when I do my history, ain't nobody came from Africa, so I don't identify with Africans, even though, you know, those are our brothers and those are, you know, that we all part of the same family and all that, because, you know, the whole world was filled with melanated people at one time, man. So, with that being said, let's get into this content, man. Aboriginal black man, is you African American? Is you African? Are you Native American? Let me know.
Yeah. No way. Hold it. Yeah. Wow. What kind of hair is that?
I know.
That's what it is.
There we go.
That's crazy.
That's original indigenous.
Indigenous hair. So y'all are indigenous to
Taino. Brothers and sisters, and that's my son right there. Been running with y'all. Island boy.
Oh, really?
Yes, that's our dad.
That's crazy.
I wasn't able to be here, but we wanted to make sure we come by.
So, this is my family. My mother, this is my dad. We got 12 brothers and sisters. My mother is the cacique of the island, which is in the chief. We are the indigenous Indians that are actually here when Columbus came to the island. Okay, and this is my family.
I want to make something very clear. Black foundational indigenous Americans are not stealing Native American culture. I represent my people that looks like me, that carry my blood of my ancestors within their veins. Many of y'all guys are a little confused on what is Native American culture and what is Black indigenous American culture.
Break that down for us.
And when I use the word Black indigenous, I'm referring to foundational Black people that has been here, even though that we're still trying to tear down this ideal that 1 million of our ancestors came here shackled when they clearly was free people of color all through Mexico, all through the lands of the Caribbean. But I want the non-educated Native Americans outside of Indian country, and maybe some in Indian country, that America has subtropical regions. Dark complected skin is a part of the environment over time from their ancestors, being there for thousands of years. You see a high concentration of black people in the southern states, all the way up towards the east coast of Virginia, Florida, all of the Caribbean, and the West Indies. And as I said in one of my videos early, Brazil is the second largest black population outside of what used to be a part of America that we call today Africa.
That's a fact.
West Indies, the word West Indies, every year we celebrate the carnival, all the way down to New Orleans, to the Caribbean, all the way back up to present day Brazil. We create our own feathers. We had our ancestors used to wear the feathers every single day until it became dangerous to put a feather headdress on, because our ancestors were being tortured, lynched, and many of our ancestors didn't identify themselves as indigenous blacks to stay alive. They did whatever they needed to do to survival. It wasn't weakness. But many of y'all Latinos,
And it was reclassification too. It was a paper genocide too. They started reclassifying people, renaming people. You know what I'm saying? Well, that's why we the only people who had a bunch of names. Negro, colored, African American, whatever else the fuck niggas start calling themselves.
Ganos, and other Native American groups that came from cold climates of North America, Canada, Alaska, has got to the point that you're like, I never seen y'all guys do this. So you must be taking our culture. I want y'all guys to Google. Black American culture is indigenous to this land and not Africa.
That's a fact.
Everything they ancestors have created, not from just one thing that America loves doing, is drinking alcohol. Every liquor store has it. You can think a black foundational indigenous person. We are the first to create what is poison to the other indigenous group of people that seem to have a hard time accepting us or believing us. Native Americans, when it comes to alcoholness, why many tribes do not have liquor stores on the res. But many of y'all don't even know that the first booze and liquor was invented by black, which they may say, black indigenous slaves. They may not even use the word indigenous. Black slaves. And that's not the only thing they did. They was also the first to create the first concept of what we know today as casinos, with some fairly recognized tribes, if you're lucky, to have an Indian casino. That can also go back to foundational black indigenous people. And the other things that people need to understand is that they're...
I just had to pause him real quick and let y'all know he popping it right now. I looked at him and I didn't think I was going to agree with him. I ain't going to lie. I judged the book by its cover. I didn't think I was going to agree with him, but he popping it right now.
There's a difference from black indigenous American culture than Native American culture. And this is the problem with some people. I never seen black people put feathers on their head unless they're marking or making fun of Native Americans. Well, I can tell that you have not been in the West Indies. I can tell that you ain't been down to New Orleans. I can tell that you ain't been to present day Brazil. I wonder if you would tell a bunch of black foundational indigenous black people in Brazil, the West Indies, and New Orleans, why are you dressed like that? Are you marking us? That's disrespectful. You may not make it out of there alive. We have the right to honor our ancestors the way that we choose to. And when it comes to, the Mardi Gras Indians, they wear wigs and stuff. Let me tell y'all guys something. I know and I see the things online, and this is why people always get curious about black people's hair. Is it real or is it fake? I see people telling other people that are my complexion, is his hair real or is it fake? The Mardi Gras is a festival And when they make their masking up, or they decide to create their costumes for Mardi Gras, you may see them coming out with weaves or wigs. But that's not.
There was a paper genocide that occurred, and there was the officials in Virginia deliberately expunged the records. They destroyed the official records and most of the private records. I mean, I've got a statement that gets into the whole thing, but basically, a lot of Virginia's ruling elite claimed to be blood descendants of Pocahontas, and in their view, that meant that no one else in Virginia could make a claim that they were Native American, a descendant of Pocahontas, because to do so would mean that Virginia's ruling elite would have to be classified as all other non-whites were, which was, in quotes, and this was the law, the inferior Negroid race. This is what it was about. And with enormous hypocrisy, Virginia's ruling elite pushed policies, got them passed, and it culminated with the Racial Integrity Act of 1924.
People have actually written over the records where it was put in that they were Indian, and someone went in and wrote black over it. And you can actually see in censuses from time to time where they may have been Indian in the first 3 censuses, and then the last 6 of their life they're considered black.
We are the original people of this land. We have been reclassified, but we was already living here when the Spanish, when the French, when the British came here. We've been here for thousands and thousands of years, not only in America, but in Canada, in Mexico, Central America, the Caribbeans. These people took over our land, not only in America, but Papua New Guinea, Africa, Australia, the Pacific Islands, are the original home of people that look like us.
For saying, yo.
Even in Europe, the original people of Europe, man, look like us. That's a fact, man. The Moors really, you know, all that Europe shit and everything that, you know, Europe is famous for was created by us. Or, you know, some type of form of us, some melanated beings.
To one another is really basically coming from the Chalagi or Cherokee of saying, oh, Shio, the way in which we dance, the way in which we walk. The walk in the 70s that many people thought was an Afrocentric expression, in actuality was a long-haired Cherokee warrior walk. The hip-like walk that is expressed as being Afrocentric was not Afrocentric at all. A warrior walked, and he walked with a limp, and his shoulder would dip as he walked. Now, that type of walk is not the only where in which you have seen that cultural expression is in America and by those who call themselves African American.
98% of all the black people in America were here before 98% of all the other people ever arrived. The first human beings came out of Africa. Anybody on earth that comes to America is an African American. You can be white, come from Europe tomorrow, you're an African American.
That makes total sense.
That's a very, very broad term. They don't know African anything. If you say you're an African American, white say, shoot, I don't know. We never enslaved in Africa. We enslaved some blacks. We got in here, but they weren't Africans.
So a black American claiming to be Native American sounds super crazy, y'all, because they don't own any land, when a lot of black Americans do. They don't have a Native American name. They don't speak any Native American languages. But a black American calling themselves an African American who don't own any African land, who don't have an African name, who don't speak an African language, don't sound crazy to y'all? So a black American claiming to be Native American sounds super crazy, y'all, because they don't own...
Well, most African Americans believe that the majority of their DNA has roots in Africa, while the remaining has roots in Native American tribes and Europe. This is often backed by genetic studies that reveal that African Americans have 73.2% African DNA, 24% European DNA, and 0.8% Native American DNA. This makes everyone believe that they are majorly descendants of black slaves. But what if we tell you that it's wrong? You have been intentionally told so. In fact, studies reveal that about 98% of African Americans have Native American roots. So, why were you lied to and what do they want to hide? You would have never heard that tens of millions of native black Americans, or rather Indians, used to live before Christopher Columbus came to America.
I'm from San Angelo, Texas. It's also considered as a Indian reservation. My grandma, one thing with my grandma on my mom's side, last name's Washington. You know, she said, I remember when Jesse Jackson had announced that, oh, we from Africa, all that stuff. My grandma was pissed. My grandma, you see how the flyer put? My grandma was pissed.
Wow, she was pissed when people would say you're from Africa?
When he said that, because he went public. He was the one that pushed that agenda.
Who is he?
Jesse Jackson.
Okay.
But I remember sitting on my great-grandmother's porch with my grandma and my cousin Renoya, and she was like, don't you ever say that you African-American.
Negroes hate being black so much, they wake up one day, I'm a Native American.
Yeah.
I'm a Cherokee. Yeah. I'm a Choctaw. Yeah. I'm a Seminole.
Yeah, this nigga Dr. Umar, man, is ridiculous. I mean, I ain't gonna lie, I like Dr. Umar. This is just something that we don't agree on. Like, what got this nigga so African? I don't understand what be having these people so African, bro. Like I don't know. This nigga is just more African than the Africans, though. And it's just blowing my mind, because, come on, bro. He sound like an intelligent person. You know, these niggas be smart. How you so intelligent, bro, and don't know who you are? Or you just, you claiming something else so much because that shit is profitable. Another thing, bro, this shit is a business. This Pan-African shit is a business. All them niggas pumping that Pan-African shit, they getting some type of bread from that shit, man.
Yep. But nobody told them the Cherokees own African slaves. Nobody told them the Choctaws own African slaves. Nobody told them the Seminoles own African slaves. So if your mother got Cherokee in her family, how do we know your mother wasn't a slave of the Cherokee?
Damn. Yeah.
And the 5 major Native American tribes fought with the Confederacy against the freedom of black people. They fought to maintain slavery, and we running around bragging, talking about I got Native American. So red blood is better than white blood? Slave blood is slave blood. I don't give a damn if it's a red slave master, a yellow slave master, or a brown slave master. The point that I'm making is this.
We can't cap, right? It was, free people of color over here that had slaves. That was the business back then. You know what I'm saying? But they trying to make it seem like all of us was just victims of slavery like that, when it was people that looked like us that owned slaves, that was rich, that was, you know what I'm saying, had all that shit that you think only white people could obtain. We had that too. And a lot of us used the same ways to get the shit. Where you think they learned it from? They got it from us. You know what I'm saying?
If we want black people to get on board with a truly global Pan-African liberation struggle, we have to give them something to be proud of. Negroes hate being black so much.
Don't you play around with the tribe, that shit dangerous. You ain't got no engine in your blood, you can't hang with us. This that chata, 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 chata. My gun go blocka, blocka, blocka. Don't you play around with the
Native Americans, let me give y'all a history lesson, because some of y'all either forgot, have been brainwashed, or y'all just don't want to remember this. When y'all arrived here to the lands that y'all were brought here by your European counterparts, they put you in boarding schools. These schools had to assimilate you and get you civilized. They had to teach you how to be white. They beat y'all. They pretty much slaved y'all. Y'all's story is not our story, and our story is not y'all's story, but a lot of y'all don't even know y'all true history. In 1906, J.P. Morgan, he agreed to fund photograph Edward S. Curtis with $75,000 to document Native American life. This project was only supposed to last for 5 years, but ended up lasting for 20. How ironic. Where they took pictures of you guys dressed in what they called native garb and pretty much created this whole identity that you guys are suffering with. In those boarding schools, they were pretty much domestic concentration camps where they taught you guys over and over and whipped you with sticks and whipped your behind if you did not listen. But they taught you guys over and over genocide, scary stuff to make you believe that you are what you are today. See, what y'all don't know is that it is possible to have Native American ancestors but not have the indigenous Americas region in your ancestral regions because you're not indigenous. So when they tell you with the same company ancestry that you are Native American and native to the Americas, they're literally telling you that you're not indigenous. There are so many Native Americans who have been found to claim indigenous lineage, but later on have been proven that they are not. There are also people who look like me who have been reclassified as African American, as black, as colored, as Negro, who are literally indigenous to these lands and have been here before y'all were brought here. We have proven this to you guys.
All right, racists.
The Indians had never seen black men. And at that time, this country was festive with buffalo. And the Indians called us Buffalo Boys.
The Buffalo Soldiers are the foundational main characters in American history. I mean, they created the saddle, our national parks, and recently I learned they created some Native American reservations. Yes, you read that correctly. Let's get into it. Buffalo soldiers from the 9th and 10th Cavalry and the 24th and 25th Infantry facilitated the creation of Native American reservations, particularly in the Southwest and the Great Plains from the 1870s to the 1890s. Soldiers also guarded the borders of established reservations. While the U.S. government created reservations on paper through executive orders and treaties, the Buffalo Soldiers were the ones who built the physical infrastructure, and they defined the borders that made the reservations a reality. Reservations weren't just empty land. They were guarded areas with military outposts. Those military outposts were the original structures that the Buffalo Soldiers built. They were the structures the soldiers would use to...
We've all seen this photo floating all over the internet, but one thing I haven't seen is the explanation or who the people in the photo are. I was curious to find out, so I did some digging, research, like I do for everything I'm interested in. So let's find out, shall we? Let me show you one of the most powerful and least talked about moments in Northeastern Native history. This photograph was taken on December 13th, 1923 in Providence, Rhode Island, on the steps of the Museum of Natural History. It shows the Council of Algonquin Indians, where leaders from several tribes gathered to discuss cultural survival, rights, and unity. This was not one tribe. This was Wampanoag, Narragansett, Penobscot, Passamaquoddy, Nipmuc, Pequot, and other Algonquin-speaking peoples coming together. Native presence never disappeared. At a time when many claimed the tribes had disappeared, these leaders stood publicly to show their nations were still here, organized and united. Like and comment and follow, and I'll show you in the next video more details.
Our people weren't from no Africa, and they didn't tell that damn lie. Nowhere else.
And my dear, okay then, so we wasn't in slavery like they were saying, was we?
No.
Because Grandma in was in the 1800s, because we can go almost 4 or 5 generations back. So Grandma in was from our land is our land, 900 acres of land, right?
900 acres down there. They called it Blue Fountain Road. They done took that sign down now.
But it's exactly. And our Grandma Hester and our Grandpa Al was Albert, Grandpa Albert. And our names is our name. We didn't get no name from no white people, did we?
No, you no name from no white folks. Who told that lie?
My dear, they teaching that stuff in the history book, talking about we was slavery.
That's probably why they taking black history out of schools, though. Y'all ain't hear about that? They taking black history out of schools. I guess they started it already. Cardi B had made a comment about it. I know a lot of y'all get y'all news and shit from these celebrities, so some of y'all might be like, familiar with it because Cardi B said it. But yeah, they taking black history out of schools, or they voting on it, some shit like that. I ain't really following it like that, but it did come across my desk, you know what I mean? But that might be why, I don't think that's so bad, because That might be why they already fed our parents' lies and their parents' lies and fed us lies. Right now, a lot of people waking up because we in an era of information. You know what I'm saying? Like we could pull information out the ethers now easier than we was able to do it before. We went through a trial of where all our information came from our oppressor. Everything you thought about yourself, you learned from your oppressor.
Was not no slavery. They tell them bare-faced lie.
Y'all hear that, don't y'all? Y'all hear that? And we Choctaw, right? That's right. We Choctaw. Y'all see a Choctaw, y'all. That's who we are. And our people were already here. And all of these history books have been lying. We just did the math. So I can go back before they said slavery was freed in Texas. When I did the math, it didn't add up. So I asked my grandmother, and my grandmother said, I said, my dear, so you mean, so were we slaves? Were we in the plantation?
No. We don't know about no plantation. I wasn't even born when all that mess was going on. So my foreparents know better. They weren't from no plantation.
You see that, y'all? So dirty.
This photograph was taken on December 13th, 1923,
Right there.
on the steps of the Museum of Natural History.
As an Indian because of African descent, or am I this color because this is the color of my ancestors?
Indian territories, tribes. Like people be thinking Indians with the Pocahontas looking. That ain't how Indians look. They look like them people in New Orleans.
And all of them had each other's names tattooed on them. Man. And this was when I was younger. I didn't understand it, but then when I started going to New Orleans, like, on tour and shit.
We tried.
The way they are with each other, they love each other a different way than everybody else.
We're going to talk about the black Indians I met that are still alive.
No, go ahead. Let's talk about them. Go ahead.
In New Orleans.
Well, the truth to that lies with the anthropologists, if they tell the truth. Because as they dig into the grounds, they have found people and they know they look like I look.
A few weeks ago, a guy was digging a pool in his backyard in the downtown area of New Orleans. You see, New Orleans was smaller one time, and this area was country. And they hit 6 feet down, they hit a casket. I said, what's the casket doing here? It was a cypress casket. Cypress wood. Now, when you dig down more than a foot or two in New Orleans, you're going to hit water. Cypress is a tree that's grown in a swamp. It does not rot. The cypress casket has been good for a few hundred years. They found black Indians inside with black artifacts, Indian artifacts. Okay? They said, well, let's dig north instead of that right here. They went north in casket. South hit them, east hit them, west hit them. We found it just.
What if I told you the label freeman wasn't about freedom, but about erasing who you were before the 14th Amendment? And I'm probably going to ruffle a few feathers with this one, but just let me explain. So before I jump into it, this is only for educational and historical discussion only. Anything I say in this video is backed by documented research and primary sources. Do your own research and come to your own conclusions. This is not misinformation, this is history through another lens. The 14th Amendment didn't just grant citizenship to so-called black Americans. It reclassified a conquered people. And now I know some of us didn't get reclassified to freemen, some was reclassified to Negro, mulatto, or colored, but the purpose was still the same. Pay attention. The oldest skulls that they dug up on this soil were the Paleo-Americans. The original inhabitants was reclassified to a freedman, to Negro, to mulatto, or colored to make it seem that we was newly free and not. Then we had the original melanated Europeans, the free persons of color. These were the heirs of the royal patents and hereditary surnames from England, Spain, Scotland, etc. They came over here, the melanated Europeans, the coat of arms, and was intermixing with the melanated Aboriginal crowns, merging two distinct bloodlines into one, creating a double sovereignty, the natural rights to the soil, and the law of the nations provided by the European nobility. Keep following. After the 14th Amendment passed, it swapped our inherited sovereignty with civil rights, which is granted by the government and regulated by statutes that operates under the corporation. By becoming citizens of the United States, we went from being the owner to the employee. This created a brand new political status, which once again the citizens of the United States. Pay attention. Before the Civil War, the United States operated under an organic constitutional framework where each...
I still think the Moors backdoored us, though. I ain't gonna hold you. Even though what she's saying is right, she popping it, you know, as far as my understanding, and I agree with what she's saying. But I just feel like the Moors backdoored us, man. Jump in the comment section if I'm wrong, man, or if I'm right. How y'all feel about that?
individual states.
If you like this topic, man, engage with me. Let me know what you think about it. Let me know what your ethnic background is, or you know, if you're black, do you consider yourself African American? Do you consider yourself a descendant from Africa, or are you an indigenous black man? Let me know if it's a difference. You know, just let me know. School me on this, because I'm still studying it too. Like, I don't know everything about this. I just got beliefs. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not the type of person that think I'm right about everything. So if y'all got some information, feel free to share it with me. And, you know, we could do different parts of this. But you already know what it is, man. It's your boy, Fetty Lotto. G and N. We out of here.
I want you to stand up tall.
In the name of all the real niggas.
I want you to speak up clear and loud.
Respectfully, the most honorable YB Double M. Lotto.
Brown baby.
Gunshots in the dark at me. Discrimination cause my head nappy. Call me a thug cause I'm tatted up. Now your actions justify when them slugs clap me. I think it's a war on the black race. Why every criminal they show got a black face, and every hero they show gotta be pale? Is it me or y'all got the wrong niggas for crimes against humanity? Of course we out here acting up. They slaughtered our elders and told the babies they from Africa. We screaming Black Lives Matter, they do. Well nigga, Black Lives Matter to who? Cause they don't matter to you. You know the owner of that movement, a Jew, and Nick Cannon got canceled just for speaking the truth. True, y'all think money bring power, it don't. Unity bring power, then we take what they owe. Y'all think money bring power, it don't. Unity bring power, then we take what they owe.
You don't know what you're doing.